The basketball star was imprisoned in Russia on drug charges for cannabis oil. She was traded for a Russian arms dealer.
But President Biden says Griner should be back in the United States within 24 hours, allowing her family and her fans to all breathe a sigh of relief. Now, I spoke with an expert today about the swap and the other American, Paul Whelan, who continues to sit behind bars in a Russian prison.
Only 1% of criminal defendants ever get acquitted in the Russian criminal justice system.
William Pomerantz is the director of the Kennan Institute at the Wilson Center in Washington, D.C. The Kennan Institute is the premier U.S. Center for Russian and Eurasian policy, research, and understanding.
As soon as she was part of that system and became a person of interest, I realized that it would be very difficult to get her acquitted or out of the Russian criminal justice system.
Pomerantz says no one can know for sure what effect Brittney Griner's 9-month Russian imprisonment will have.
They are notoriously horrible. There's hazing, there's torture, there's just not a place that one wants to be in.
But Brittney Griner, seen here without her signature dreadlocks in the prisoner swap with Viktor Bout, a Russian arms dealer dubbed the Merchant of Death, looks to be healthy and happy to finally be on our way home.
Is that an equal swap?
It's not an equal swap, but I don't think Brittney Griner is complaining.
Paul Whelan, a former Marine working in Russia, was detained on espionage charges in 2018. His family has been fighting for his release ever since.
It was believed that there would be a 2-for-2 swap, that 2 Russians would be sent back to the Russian Federation and 2 Americans, Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan, would be exchanged for those 2 Russians. And unless and until there is an appropriate Russian who we can swap with him, unfortunately, he will just stay in Russian prison.
So how did a basketball star equate to an equal exchange for an arms dealer?
Partially because it was such a high-profile case, and partially because Brittney Griner's family has been so insistent in getting her out that they were able to do this deal. I fear that Paul Whelan's greatest hope of getting out of Russian prison was to be a part of the Brittney Griner exchange, and that simply has not been the case.
Is there anyone that could serve as a swap for Paul Whelan?
Not immediately, and obviously we will have to see who emerges, who could be considered for a swap for Paul Whelan.
And Kirsten, previously you had the chance to talk with Paul Whelan's family about this situation, and they were frustrated.
Yeah, they're frustrated, understandably so. I talked to them after the Trevor Reed release. They were frustrated then, they're frustrated now. Amazingly, the level of grace and patience this family is exhibiting while they wait for their loved one behind bars, I think, oh my gosh, hats off to them, because I don't know that my family and I could be that strong as we wait on our loved one. But they're frustrated, understandably so.
Yeah, and we noticed something in the video. Brittney Griner's appearance has changed.
Yes, yes. Her hair, her dreadlocks. You know, there's such a relationship in the Black community and all communities when it comes to hair. We saw that her dreadlocks are now gone. We don't know if she made that choice or if that was a choice that was imposed upon her in a Russian prison. A lot of times we have the conversation in the Black community when you are incarcerated or anything like that. That's probably one of the first things to go. And we don't know for sure if that's what happened with Brittney Griner, but she now does not have those long, beautiful dreadlocks. So we can't wait to see what she says about that.
It's part of our identity, at least the visual identity as a WNBA star, who we're used to seeing and who she is. And if those were taken as a function of this, it's just another really tragic and sad thing in this process for her to have to deal with. But it's great to see her on that plane.
So happy. So many people are so happy to see BG come home. We are celebrating the return, and we are waiting for Paul Whelan.